Hi guys, this video is about some requests that I got about fake skin and how do I work on fake skin, what is my setup. So this is it. I'm gonna show you my setup. First, I got myself a little table, a lap table, you know, with these under that you can just open and sit over you. The table is higher this way. You don't have to crouch this much. It's better for the back when you work sitting on a couch or something, because this is what I do. I did my settings so I can just work in the front of the TV and stuff like this. So first thing first, I got this. Since those skins are so tiny, sometimes 1 millimeter, 2 millimeter, 3 millimeter, they come very thick, but the one that I use the most are 1 to 2 millimeter thick, so they're really thin. So what do I do not to mess up my needles while I work on stuff like this? I got this at the dollar store. I think it was like $3, $4, and these are just pads to put in drawers. All right, so I got it. Obviously I'm out of it because I change it once in a while, and what I do is I put a layer of this on my table. First of all, I'm gonna cut a piece that I need. And actually, I like this. The reason why I change them once in a while, it's because with time, this get covered with ink and Vaseline, and that sucks. So eventually, you need to replace it to make it clean again, because it's really hard to clean Vaseline and that stuff. So it starts to mess up the back of your skin, and when you put it in storage or in a binder and stuff like that, it dirties the other one. I take some gaffer tape. I got some good one here. I'm gonna tape it on my table. All right, so let's do this since it's very thick. First thing first, top and the bottom. Awesome. Let's take the sides. There we go. There we go. That's it. And then you tattoo on this. You can double this also. You can have some with patterns. It doesn't really matter the color, the size, as long as it has a little cushion to avoid when you work on your skin to go too deep, because it will happen that you'll go too deep and pierce the skin from end to the other, and the needle's gonna go on this instead than dulling your needle or ruining your needles. So this is that part. The reason why I really like this little table, it's because there's a little cup hole right here where I always keep my Vaseline in, because you need a lot when you work on fake skin to clean the skin and whatever. So this is my setup. On the next part, I'm gonna show you how I do my stencils, why I don't let them dry and all of that, why I work right away on it. I do all the outlining. So I'll show you this on the next part. So now, first thing first, cover your machine, because even if you do practice or work on fake skin, you still do need to protect your equipment from Vaseline, from everything. First, you need to do pretty much anything that you would do if you would tattoo someone. Very, very, very important. First thing first, this is how I wrap my machines. All right. Here's some sport tape. I hold this real tight right here. I twist this. And I put a little piece of tape on it. Let me put it on it. Just a little piece of tape to keep everything closed and sealed. Now I'm going to take that sport tape. I'm going to take the little wings, put them aside. Put the sport tape on it. And there we go. I like to tape it. A nice big coat on it all the time. Let's cut this. I don't know if you guys noticed my little hamper. You can get them really cheap on Amazon. They're awesome and they freaking save your clothes so much. It's unreal. So now there's this. Machine is ready. Second thing I do is my little ink pot. I'll take a large one. I got this thing in a vape shop one day and I got like a few of them. It's to, you know, those little vape pen, those cheap vape pen, you put it on it so they stand up and whatever. It's just like silicone little thing, and hand up, fitting the large cup very well, and has a little suction so it stays there. All right, so it won't move on you if you touch the side or whatever, because I bet you guys know what I'm talking about. All right, so now I'm gonna put some black in, and I'll show you how I do my stencil because I like to prepare everything first. All right, I'll put my ink away. Now, put the machine away. On another video, I was explaining the skins that I use. There's those one who are like skin colors, and you got those one who look yellowish. The thing on the skin color, they like to delaminate. If you pass too much on it while you're learning, it's good because you'll know what's gonna traumatize the skin and whatnot. They're usually 2 millimeter to 3 millimeter thick, and that's the skin color. Those one, no, they're only 1.5 millimeters. They're even thinner than those one. But those yellowish one are my favorite because it teaches you how the needle depth should go. Because if you go too deep, you will hit the board, hit the pad on your table and whatever. So this is good to really learn the depth of your needle when you do a tattoo. And on top of this, those are more forgiving. They won't blister. They will cut like any other skins would if you pass too deep, too long on something. So be careful with these. There's things to know about these. There's things to know about these. I use both, but I prefer these. And these you still you have bigger than this size. These one, the bigger one, are super expensive for nothing. Everything I get it those from Amazon because you can get like 10 of those for 10 bucks instead than 5 for 40 bucks from a brand company. So let's do the stencil now. First, I take my stencil out, and this is what I use. I use Speed Stick, Old Spice, whatever, doesn't really matter. It just needs to be a gel. All right. So what you first gotta do is to put one layer on it. That's it. All right. And even that is too much. So what I usually do is I pass with my glove like this. I wipe it off to remove the excess and to spread it where the speed stick, like the little bump the speed stick didn't get. Now it's not as wet, you will see. The reason why I'm doing this is because I'm not gonna let it dry like a lot of people do, and I'll explain why is that. Now, this is what I will use. So now I'm gonna put it right in the center of the skin. Once it's on it, then you press on it. You don't wipe on it because it might move the stencil. So you just press on it. You always make sure everything, all the details are done by pushing on it, especially the little spot where got tiny little details. All right, after that you can remove it and you will get this. All right, but now this, if you put your finger on it, you will mess it up. All right, because this need to dry. Me, I'm an old school tattoo artist. I tattooed back in the days where there wasn't much to work with, and this is how I learned. And back in those days, the way we were doing stuff, it's we do the stencil outline first. All right, let me get my needles. We do the outlining first, always with the tiniest needle you can get. And this time I'm gonna get these one. These one are like the kale needle, but they have a little rubber on it. You can remove it, take it off, you get the kale needle. But this is what I'm gonna use. I'm using it on the Mast. That one, it's the Mast 4, but anyway. I'm sorry, I just have like a long day and I'm not gonna search for nothing. I gotta keep my mind clear for tattooing. All right, so now I don't have my big light. Usually I work with a big light, and not this time. So I'm gonna show you how I do my stuff. I'm just doing the outlining very quick. And by saying very quick, I don't mean messing it up. You still need to be precise. Now I'm going to tell you guys why I do it like this. I don't let it dry. The reason why is because of the stencil ink. The stencil ink usually stains the skin when it stays too long on it. You'll see after this, that won't take me super long to do. You will see still a stain on it. And the reason why it's because it gets a better result, because the stain of that ink will alter the color and the final result of the tattoo. And when you guys do this, one thing you need to note is you can't wipe. So leaking needles are bad for these. And it's fine if they're a little crooked, the lines are a little crooked and stuff like that, because we will fix it on the next part of it. And I always work out in. This way you don't smudge your skin with your hand. And one thing really important, it's try not to move the skin. Leave it there so you get used to work when it is like this, because when you work on someone, you won't be able to turn that person. You'll be able to change position, but not that much. So when you turn it maybe like this or like this, about like a human would move. And you always treat the fake skin just like it was real skin. And like I showed you early on the skin's type, the skin color is good for that, because it really reacts like real skin in a way, for the simple fact that it will blister if you pass too much on it. I mean, it will delaminate. It won't cut, it will peel. So, this is how it works. Just so we can make a shorter video, I'll cut this and I'll see you at the end. So now I'm at the end. One thing I'd like to let you know, it's this part, the lips, the underlip or shadow. So I rarely do these things. I do this after, because you'll note that if you're a beginner, when you do this, it never show up the way you'd like to show up. So it's better to do it after with a fresh skin. So now I'm at the point where I need to wipe it off to see my outline. Take some Vaseline, put some all over it, and I scrub. Now it's scrub. I take a, where's my wet naps? Here's my wet naps. I like to use paper wet naps, unscented, to do this, especially on that thick skin. See how Vaseline wipe it off so good. It doesn't leave any mark. And now I got this and I have no stencil stain over it. This is why I do this, because stencil stain sucks, and you can't get them off. So when you put your stencil and something leaks on the side, wipe it off right away, because it will stay there. You can try with alcohol, with more Vaseline, but you will still see a tiny blue shade in the back. And if you work with colors, it will alter your color so much. It will make them a lot darker, so you're not gonna get the supposed color on your fake skin. That's just due to the stencil stain in the back that will stay there if you let it dry. If you don't and you do it this way, it's a little trickier, because you can't wipe, and when you get needle spray, let's say, it might go on some others, other details and stuff like that. That sucks. If you get leaking needle, again, that sucks. It will cover your line and will mess it up. The reason why I do it this way is because when you do bigger job, it happened that anything could happen actually. You know, like the electricity can go out, you can't finish the tattoo. This is why these are good, because these are wireless. But the thing is, sometimes customers can handle the pain, and since they can't, they have to come back. You know what I mean? So you can't do the hours and hours of work on them. It has to be step by step. So the first thing I suggest is the first session you do the whole stencil with a tiny needle the whole way, so you have the outline, so when the customer gives up, you're not screwed. Because I seen so many people, especially the new generation, they do a tattoo going up. You know, like 5 hours later, you still have part of the tattoo that haven't been touched at all. If you wipe it, you're losing it. And after that, trying to put a stencil over something that is really already done, it's fucking hard. It's hard. They mess up the tattoo. You change the configuration of the tattoo. So this is very important that the full stencil is actually made on the first session. After that, you can do the colors, the stuff like that. But the way I do it, I do it this way. Once it's like this, I'm gonna touch up the little place that need a little touch up, but it's not gonna be the final line because this is just a stencil. First, I'm gonna add the colors that I need to add to the tattoo. Once all the colors, and the way colors work, you always go the lightest color first. And the way it works, if you want to make a nice little shade, let's say in lips, you're gonna need more than red. You're gonna need 3 to 4 shades of red. That means like going to light pink to red. And what you do the whole lip light pink. After that, you do half of the lip a little darker, half of it, and you finalize with the final red that you put all the accent on it. This is how you do colors. And the way it works fine. But the thing, you need to wipe all your stencil off. If there would be a product to erase that blue thing, like it was none, it would be great. Otherwise, it sucks. So this is how I do my stuff, how I do my little tricks, let's say. I've done this in the 90s, and since I've been doing it all my life, it's hard to change something that it works and works well. Unlike stuff that it looks cool because the tattoo is being done as it goes up, just like a printer. But we are not printer, you know what I mean? There's factors who comes in line that you need to consider, like electricity go out, a customer who can't stand the pain, you get a phone call, an emergency or something. This is why this is important to do it this way. All right. And first of all, it's going to give you an idea where it's going to be harder on your tattoo. So excuse me, keep this in mind. I rarely do the shadows. I might do a little part where it start and where it end, just to let myself know. But like the underlip, like you guys saw, the let's say inside the nostrils, you know what I mean? It should be black, but it's only the outline because that's all I need. Later, I'm gonna do it all black and stuff like that, and you won't see those lines anymore. So this is how I do my stuff. I hope you guys liked. That was a request, how I do my setup, how I prepare my stuff, and how I do my stuff. So this is how I do my stuff. All right. So hope it helped. Hope you learned something. If you like, please subscribe, like the video. Sorry about my accents. I'm French. I'm doing it in English to try to reach as much people as I can. All right. So peace, be safe, be careful, and see you next time.